Hi Cancer, welcome to How I Love Tarot. This is a general reading. Spirit, may I please have, what does Cancer need to know in this reading? May I please have the present position, the strength, the challenge, and the possible outcome, what's good in the outcome. One more. Thank you. Okay. Let's go ahead. They want me to change this with this. Okay. Spirit, may I please have the present position for Cancer? What will validate this reading for Cancer? What will validate this reading for Cancer? Thank you. Which way? May I have the present position? Thank you. May I please have the strength for Cancer? Which way? You want it up? Okay, can I have another one for strength then? Thank you. Okay, may I please have the challenge, Spirit? Thank you. May I please have what's good in the outcome? What can Cancer expect? What will give them inspiration, hope, give them the motivation they need to make the difficult decisions that they have to make? What will inspire? What will lead Cancer to a great outcome, Spirit? I'm going to put that back. Make it clear, Spirit. May I have what's great in the outcome for Cancer? Thank you. Thank you. What else? Thank you. Anything else in the outcome for Cancer? Too many. Too many. Anything else? Anything else, Spirit? Thank you. And you want it upright. Thank you. Oh, that, okay. Cancer, this is your reading. So I'm not going to be showing you the oracle cards. I'm just going to blend them. These are the type of oracle cards that get more blended into the reading rather than it being spearheading the reading. For those of you that don't know me, I am a psychic and a medium, so I get my information from the spirit world. So when you hear me talking to spirit, I actually am talking to spirit. I'm not talking to the voices in my head. So Spirit, do you want to bring it forward in regards to the present position for Cancer? What is happening with Cancer? What do they need to know? What will validate this reading? What will give them the information that they need? What will help them to strengthen and grow from this reading? All greatness teeters on whether a would-be hero overcomes the terror within and advances regardless. In the tarot, we have the Three of Swords and we have the Six of Cups. what we have here is there's a difficulty going on that's causing a lot of suffering, emotional pain, for some of you, physical pain. There is some type of sorrow or hurt, loss, feelings of depression that you're going through that are in the present position. This is something that is familiar. For some of you, Spirit just said family, right? Familiar. I don't speak Spanish, but I don't know. Seem to have somebody in the spirit world that keeps wanting to come through that only speaks Spanish. And I only speak English, so that's fun. There's a situation going on here with self-esteem, and knowing the direction that you should fly in solo. There's a need to glide and use your energy and resources wisely, and you've been doing that, and you're putting in action and effort. However, where you land is not exactly what you were looking for. And so you're taking effort, energy, and a lot of action to kind of go backwards and forwards is what Spirit shows me. It feels as if you are there's a connection here that is strong and that is sweet. There is also a connection here that is creating momentum and movement. Now, whenever we are going from a difficult situation into an easier situation, one that we're trying to create for ourselves, there is disruption. And there is feelings of not knowing. There are feelings of terror within, right? Being frightened of the choices that you're making. Not knowing if it's the right thing for you, and understanding whether that is an action that you can take. Now, Cancer, the river always flows. It's always moving, and that is the nature of life. It is always moving. So in essence, none of us can ever make a bad decision or a wrong decision. I think in our conscious minds, we can always look at it like that. But if we look deeper and we can look back, you know, one of the things that we have as human beings is this thing called hindsight. And that's what the Six of Cups represents here in your reading. Hindsight is when you can look back at a situation. You know, there's that saying that hindsight is 20/20. For those of you that don't know, 20/20 means perfect vision, and hindsight means looking back. And so the saying goes, hindsight is 20/20. And I'm talking to my younger viewers here that may have never heard that expression here. So forgive me for those of you that know it inside and out and say, why are you stating the obvious? I'm stating the obvious because I have some younger viewers here that this message is for. That sometimes it is really important that you go through an experience, because the learning is not in the moment. It's when you can look back at the situation and have understanding and clarity and understanding about a vision of why you were experiencing what you were experiencing. Because when we're going through difficult times, especially a Cancer, if you know anything about your birth sign, Cancer, you know, our birth signs are all metaphors for who we are in our personality. And a crab has to shed its shell in order to grow. It actually, it metamorphosizes by the shell breaking. And then it grows and it expands and a whole new shell is made. And so now those of you that have ever had crab to eat know that the shell of a crab is extremely hard. So the effort to break the shell from the inside out is extraordinary. And that's kind of what you're going through right now. So now, why is the crab the crab? Why are cancers cancers? Because that's what you're able to do. You have been given the strength to break free. Now, it doesn't feel like it when you're going through it. It feels like that you're teetering on failure sometimes, is what it feels like. It feels like, why is this such a struggle? But that's the fear. However, what do cancers do? Regardless, they move forward and they get to where they're going. They move sideways, they move backwards, they can move under, they can do extraordinary things. You, Cancer, do extraordinary things. So in the present position, it feels as if you're in a situation that you're having to kind of take the great parts of who you are, and you're having to, in a way, silence them or put them to rest or move away from them in some way. Now, these are things that are extraordinary measures in your life. And cancers also never do anything unless pushed. And what that means is, like, if you have to break that shell, it's because you're growing, that growth, right? You would never normally break the shell that protects you. But when you have to grow as a crab, you will bust through that shell through your sheer strength. But what is needed is the building of that strength. And that's kind of what you're going through right now. You're building strength to go in a completely new chapter and phase in your life. You're having a shift of consciousness. And so a shift of consciousness only happens, it's very, very rare in life for a shift of consciousness to happen. Now, extraordinarily enough, we all experience it, but a shift of consciousness is where one way that you used to think is completely changed by an experience that you have. And it becomes night and day. And who you were before is no longer. You are wiser, stronger, more knowledgeable, because you're using that hindsight to go back and to look. And here we come back to the Six of Cups, right? And the Three of Swords. You're looking at that to look at, to take a look at the things that have not worked out despite your efforts. And to say, to kind of get up and dust yourself off and to say, I'm moving onward and upward. So what, right? It's not the first thing and it won't be the last thing that ever goes wrong. But the things that have gone wrong have always led me to pastures green, right? So that's kind of, there's an acceptance, is what Spirit is saying, that you are where you are. In the challenge, we have the Seven of Pentacles. When we are hurt, we felt the love was somehow diminished or damaged. But hurt has nothing to do with love, and love is unaffiliated. With unaffiliated love, and it is unaffected by pain, right? So love is love. And regardless of the pain that comes from that love, the pain that you experience in love, you are maybe hurt by experiences that you are going through, right? So this is a challenge, right? So it kind of ties into your present position. So stay tuned, right? It gets better. Please don't tune out just because you feel like this is a negative reading. I have to go through what it is that you're going through so you can validate that this is the reading for you, okay? And if you're not connecting with the reading because none of this makes sense, then this is not your reading. But if this is making sense, then this is your reading, and therefore the outcome is your reading, okay? So in the challenge, there is a retrospect aspect of who you are that's going back into your spiritual self and tapping into the love that is divine. You were born for a purpose, Cancer. You were born with a mission in your soul. You were born to reveal, and whether that takes a day or a lifetime or a knowing, you were born to reveal that aspect of your soul. It's a process, right? So here in the Seven of Pentacles, we have you looking at that very spiritual aspect of yourself and wanting abundance and wanting freedom. You're looking at the hard work that's ahead of you and the perseverance that is needed and the diligence that is needed. Now, without these aspects of strength and without the effort, you cannot make what it is that you desire. We live in a world with social media, well, no matter what it is, but really through social media. And I was watching I never watch television and I don't watch the news, but I went to click on the news the other day on my TV, and this is a major channel, and the bloody news was coming forward as if I were watching it on social media, and there's all this live feed going on the right hand side of the screen, and there's all this stuff going on the screen, and all I wanted to listen to were the announcers. But there was so much information coming from the screen, I got fed up and annoyed and turned it off. And that's kind of what's happening with you in this kind of instant in this instant world that we live in of results. What we have is this aspect of our lives that somehow needs to be solved instantly. We're in a drive-through culture that what you manifest should happen immediately. And that is not true, right? That is not the case. And you know that, Cancer. Those of you that are older and wiser know that. Nothing is instant. And things that are instant don't taste as good as the things taste. I'm thinking about food. Like instant food, right? You can have a whole meal that's an instant frozen food, but it is nothing like if it was you made it and you know how to cook, and you made the same thing and you put your effort into it, because you put all the things that you need and that will be pleasing and pleasurable to you when you eat that food, right? So the challenge is that you're trying to manifest and it's not happening at the speed that you want it. So let's move on to the good parts, right? Let's take a look at the strength of what's going on. We have the 10 of Cups and we have the World card, right? So things are most certainly changing in your life. And they're changing in your life because of circumstances you can't control. And they're changing in your life because of things that you have put into place already and that have caused change and are creating change. We gain power from again and again allowing ourselves to choose the kind of recklessness that allows us to be vulnerable, genuine, and brave in the pursuit of our dreams. And so here you're taking in the strength position is where you gain all this power. So after taking a look at, the things that are challenges, the things that are hurting you, the things that are frustrating you, the things that are very difficult to wrap your mind around right now, you're gaining power. And like I said, in this kind of instant atmosphere that we live in, that manifestation should come as soon as you think about it. If you are thinking that way and feeling that way, you need to turn off the TV, You need to turn off your social media. You need to detox. You need to get your mind away from this this instant thing that keeps reinforcing these untrue situations. No matter what you're looking at on social media, it is very contrived. It is edited. It is speeded up. It is this, that, and the other, right? So there is an aspect of what's on social media. I'm on social media, right? I'm on YouTube. But one of the things that you never ever see in my videos, I might have it in maybe 0.05% of my videos where it's edited. And it usually is because Shirley, her, right there, see that cute little dog? She makes mayhem. And so she's barking all the way through the video and acting up. And so I might edit that out because it's so disruptive in the video. But essentially, everything that you're watching is being manipulated. And so you're coming into this mindset of, you know, I think it, I feel it, I believe it, then why isn't it so? Well, bloody hell, because things take time. Things take time, Cancer. The real manifestation of your soul takes time. And yes, there are some things that are in your control that take the Spirit wants me to talk about something. This, I don't know why Spirit had me put it on today. I never wear it. This is my graduation ring for my doctoral degree. I have a lot of degrees, and it's not because I wanted them, and it's not because I wanted to be called doctor. It's because it took me over 20 years to learn and master my craft, which is clinical psychology. And so when I graduated, I wanted a class ring to represent that, but I didn't want it to look like a class ring. I wanted it to represent the efforts that I had made and the quality of work that I had put into being skilled in my craft, that I spent decades and hours and hours, tens of thousands of hours at this point, mastering and understanding and learning. And so I wanted a flower. I wanted a daisy. It doesn't really look like a bloody daisy, but it's a daisy. And I wanted it because a daisy, when you see a daisy, a flower, it is a beautiful flower. It is one of those things that when it sprouts up in the springtime, it just makes you happy and you don't even know why. But it takes so much effort to make that gorgeous, beautiful, you know, if you don't notice it, it's just fleeting in your peripheral eyesight. But so this is a Tiffany ring, and the reason why I wanted it to be a Tiffany is because I wanted it to represent my manifestation of what it took to craft something at that level of excellence. And to me, Tiffany jewelry is a craftsmanship of high levels of expertise and learning in the craft of what they're doing, in their design, in their stones, in the colors. It takes true craftsmanship. It takes a long time. True things take a long time. And so here in the strength, what we have is a shift, moving back into the understanding of detoxing from all that is influencing you in a negative way. And it doesn't seem negative. I'm not saying that the things that you're watching or reading are negative, but it has a way of, you know, there's a formula to everything. If you do this, this, and this, and this, and this is going to happen. For, I don't know, the last 25 years, my clients I've been in the field for 30 years, so they never asked me in the first 5 years I was working in the field of psychology. But once I became good at what I was doing, and even in my readings, and I had to, even though I've born with the ability to have psychic and mediumship, and it came out in a pure form, and it was extremely, what's the word, at a very, very high level, even upon its instant manifestation, I still had to learn my craft, even though I was born with it. I had to learn the nuances of it. And so, in regards to your strength, you're cutting out the negativity. And you have to do that because this, and Spirit keeps talking about social media here, because it's a false sense of what you should be or who you are. And it doesn't matter what you're looking at. If you're looking at somebody making a dish on YouTube and it looks really enticing and amazing and it inspires you to want to make that dish yourself, well, the person that made that dish, there's a level of skill and learning and understanding, and how many times did they do it before they were ready to film it and introduce it to you on a place like YouTube? When you see dancing on social media, they didn't come out of the womb dancing. They had to learn how to coordinate, how to look elegant, how to deliver their narrative through their body and express themselves in a way that inspired you, right? Even when I do this, right, I had to learn how to do what I'm doing. So in your strength, there is a reckoning that you have built up an enormous amount of power, but it is now time for it to come forward in a way that you have to stop the noise around you. And so on one level, the noise is stopping, right? For many of you, things are being taken out of your life so you can sail through your next chapter with a destination in mind that is clear, thought out, and not all over the place. You're not, for example, if you're flying a plane and you get into that plane and you don't know where you're going, let's say it was a propeller plane, and you just get into the plane and you're just saying, I'm gonna fly. Well, that's no good, right? You have to know where you're going. You have to know how to fly a plane. You have to know what the weather pattern's going to be. You have to know what the traffic's going to be. You have to know your destination, because is that plane going to take you there? If it's a prop plane, if it's a propeller plane, did you get on the right plane, right? If you want to fly from Miami to New York, a propeller plane is not going to take you there. I don't know anything about planes, but I'm using my best guess to tell you that it probably won't take you there, right? You need to do the work to prepare your destination even before you start your destination. And so that's what I mean by you're getting rid of the noise, right? If you were, you're going from Miami to New York, you can become really overwhelmed. Let's say if you went on the internet and you put in Miami to New York and you see, well, you could drive there and you could fly there and you could sail there and you could walk there and you could run there, right? But, you can take 5 planes to get there. You can, it gets a bit stupid after a while. Of course, you're not going to walk there. Of course, you're not going to run there. Of course, you're not going to take 5 planes to get there, right? You're going to do it the most efficient way. You're going to get rid of the noise and the nonsense and the things that don't make sense. So all of that is showing up in your strength. All of that is showing how your power is being brought forward in a way to create harmony and alignment and fulfillment, so you can support what you are putting into action within your soul. So there is a lot of change that is occurring that has been frustrating you, Cancer, but it is occurring for a reason. Your life means something. Who you are means something. God put you on this earth for a reason, because without you, it's not the same. You have been born with a purpose, and whether you know it or not, whether you've done the work or not, whether you're conscious of it or not, whether you have a spiritual background and foundation that can pull that forward into your consciousness or not, guess what? You were still born with a purpose and you're still doing it, right? If you do it consciously, you get there with less frustration. If you do it unconsciously, there's a lot more frustration involved. So here in the strength, what we have you doing is coming to completion, looking at your accomplishments, understanding that you have more to give, you have more to do, you have more to attain. In your strength, you are celebrating your life in a way, because it is now time to put into action everything that you have been stalling. In the outcome, we have the Knight of Cups. That keeps coming up a lot in your readings. Or the Knights do anyway. Knight of Pentacles keeps coming up a lot in your readings. We have the King of Cups. And we have the Eight of Wands. Now, Cancer, in your readings, one of the things that has not been coming up, Spirit brings back the readings for me when I'm doing readings. And one of the things that has not been coming up in your readings is the Three of Swords. And I remember, I think it was about 3 years ago, every single time I did your reading, the bloody Three of Swords came up. So you were going through a difficult time again. But the way the energy is showing up here in the Three of Swords today is not showing up in the same way it did 3 years ago. Spirit is bringing back the readings to me. So in the outcome, you do not need to wait for any more resources. You have been born with everything you need. Do you need to reveal it and then cultivate it? Yes, you do, right? I was born with the gift of psychic ability and mediumship. It did not show itself in the first 6 years of my life. It came to be when I was 6 years old, one day out of nowhere. Then it disappeared. Nothing happened at all for another 6 years. Nothing, zero, zilch. There was absolutely nothing that I can remember that I can say and tell you honestly that was a psychic or mediumship aspect that showed itself, even though I was born with it. But then it began to slowly show itself when I was 12 years old. And I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I didn't know what the hell it was. I was too young. I was too immature. I didn't have the mentors or the verbiage or the understanding. So even though I was born with this gift, and you are born with your gifts, Cancer, it took a very long time and a lot of experiences for me to gain understanding, to gain the confidence, to gain the wherewithal of how to put it all together. It wasn't instantaneous. It was a process. And here, what it's showing in the outcome is that you do not need to await more resources. You have them within you, Cancer. You need nothing. You have it all within you. It is a matter of revealing it and then working on it. It is a matter of tapping into it so you can bring it forward in a way that it can create abundance for you. We are all born with talents and possibilities, right? So let's take a great actor like, I don't know, Tom Hanks, right? Brilliant, a master of his craft. But that man did not start off with just a dream and then he got on a stage and decided to act and he was, brilliant. No, it's a process. Anybody that's in their craft and at the top of their field, it is a process to get there. And even once they've gotten there, it takes more, Cancer. It takes more to then go even deeper so it is meaningful for others. You're peeling back layers of who you are to reveal more of who you are so you can showcase it, you can give it the energy that is needed, but it is not external to you, Cancer. It is internal. It is within you. Here in the Knight of Cups, Spirit, bring it forward. I really feel like I'm bloody lecturing today. It doesn't feel like a tarot reading. It feels like a ministry. King of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. So those of you that have never seen my readings before, this is not usually how a reading goes. You can go back and look at one of my past readings, maybe the couple of ones before this, and that's kind of more how my readings go. But I feel like I'm bloody lecturing you here, so apologies, but this is the way Spirit World is coming forward for you right now. So it matters to somebody, the words that I am saying. Spirit, bring it forward in the outcome. What is, Spirit had me say something different than they usually have me say. They usually have me say a couple of things. They usually have me say, what is the possibility in the outcome? What is good in the outcome? Here they had me say, what is great in the outcome? I don't think they've ever told me that in a reading before. So this is about who you truly are, Cancer. You were born to be. God created you here on this earth because he needs you. Without you, his plan is not the same. We have 75 trillion cells in our body, or something like that. But if one of those cells, each having its own DNA and use and what it's supposed to do, if it's not created without it, it's not the same structure. It becomes something else. Who you are to others, who you are to yourself, even though it may not seem like, that you're doing anything or that you matter, you do matter. You're a part of a greater plan. Your gift on this earth that God gave you is your life. The very nature that you were born is the fact that God needed you here. He needed you. So your life has been important. Now, people may have made you feel that it is not important, but it is. Whether you grew up in a difficult family, whether you grew up in a supportive family, it doesn't matter how people made you feel. People are annoying. They can make you feel like really difficult and like you don't belong and all of these horrible things. But there are other people that encourage you and can see the greatness within you. And we might only get one or two of those people in our lives. If we have more than that, then we're lucky. And here in the outcome, what is great in the outcome is you. Here in the Knight of Cups, you are moving forward with your charm, with your elegance, with your imagination, with your beauty, with your strength, with your heart. And you are going forward with grace. That's what the Knight of Cups is. Here in the King of Cups, in the outcome, we have you emotionally balanced. We have you exposing your compassion to yourself, more importantly, to others. We have you being diplomatic in situations that require great diplomacy. We have you using a lot of self-control so you can balance inwardly, so you can be the supportive leader that you are, not only to others, but to yourself. Here in the outcome, we have a lot of tolerance coming forward. And you're being tolerant of yourself as well as others. Here in the King of Cups, we have empathy. We have you giving it to others as well as giving it to yourself. Here in the Knight of Pentacles, where this crazy manifestation, that was picking up in the beginning of, so I think it, so shall it be, so shall it manifest right now, gone completely. Here we have patience in the Knight of Pentacles. Here we have you going back into your hard work, your productivity, reintegrating a healthy routine, conserving your energy, and efficiently putting out your energy in a way that is responsible, and it's taking responsibility of your life in a way that creates enormous mastery. So it's bringing forward the very thing that you want to manifest begins to take shape in a different way. Now, what's interesting about your last card is we have the Eight of Wands. Spirit, bring it forward. Bring it forward, Spirit. The words that you speak, Cancer, are going to have an instant effect. They're going to rapidly change the people you are talking to. So you're going to speak less rather than more. You're going to choose your words wisely. Swift change is coming up here in the outcome, Cancer. Swift change. There are some important decisions that are going to happen very, very quickly. There's a lot of communication coming at you in the outcome. And lo and behold, in the outcome, we have manifestation. We have practicality. We have that skill being honed in that's within you. That's the nature of what God put inside of you to be revealed over the lifespan of who you are. There are absolute decisions that you are making. There is business here. There is business. So whether that be in your work, whether that be really taking responsibility for your business and what you're doing in your business. Spirit shows me that as that ambiguous nature of business, right? Like business as in running a business, and then business as in your own personal business. That's my business, right? Not your business. Kind of like, I can't really say that properly, Spirit. Say it to me again. Personal business, like these are your personal affairs, your situation, your finances, who you want in your life, who you want to spend time with, your personal business. So what we have here is what's great in the outcome is you, Cancer. It's you understanding that there is more that you have to unravel and reveal, and taking charge of all of that so it can come to fruition in a way that is needed and desired by your soul, by you, by your productivity. Cancer, it was a strange reading. I'm going to have to do another reading for you. I hope this reading was helpful. You take care. For those of you that need this is a really weird reading. For those of you that need a personal reading, please look down into the description box. Please contact me now, email me now at howlovetarot@gmail.com. For those of you that are really struggling and need life coaching, email me now at howlovetarot.com. No, email me at howlovetarot@gmail.com. And I can see if it's appropriate in regards to life coaching and if I can help you that way. But don't wait. If you're struggling, reach out to me. Do that now. It's not often that I am able to have space in my schedule. I have it right now for you. So take advantage of it. Cancer, that was your reading. You take care, and remember, you were born with a purpose.